Welcome to Soccer as We Like It, the Man United channel for United and football fans. We are talking our Sunday podcast today, and on our panel today we have representing UK the analyst Vimy. Welcome on,
Hey
Vimy.
guys. Hi guys, how you all doing?
Good. And representing USA, Houston Red Army, the soul man Joe, Mr. Positive. Hello, Joey.
How's it going, fellas?
Right, as you know, every Man United fan would experience we lost an ambassador to football, a man of integrity, a total gentleman, a World Cup winner, a captain, a survivor of the Munich air disaster, and led the club to not 10 years later to be the first English club to win the European Cup, now known as the Champions League. So Bobby passed away yesterday at the age of 86. So we as fans were always going to respect him. His name is engraved in the cornerstones of that club. So, Bobby, we raise our glasses to you, sir. May your soul rest in perfect peace.
To Bobby.
To Bobby. Right, gentlemen. This is where we are. Man United 2. Who did we play again yesterday?
They scored 1.
Sheffield United 1. The bottom team of the league, who've only got 2 points. Man United were able to get 3 points. People say, I will tell you today, I don't care how we play. All I want is 3 points on the board. People want fanciful football and no points. I want ugly football and 3 points. Joining me today, Vimy, start us off on the game.
It's Sheffield, right? And they haven't won a game all season.
No, they have not.
I think they got hammered. Wasn't it 8-0 by Newcastle?
Yes, they were.
Yep.
Right. I'd love to give them a hammering as well, but it looks like they were giving us a hammering in the beginning. I think they were peppering our goal, and I think we had 9% of the ball in their opposition box or in their third for the first 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they had most possession. They were dominating the midfield, and they had the ball for about I think it was 35-40% in our third. So I think it was pretty awful. We couldn't just keep the ball in midfield, couldn't control it. This is Sheffield. And you look at the riches of our squad and the salaries and everything we've assembled, I think it's pretty embarrassing. So, we always seem to do better in one half or the other. And then it was the second half that the boys started to pull their socks up and play proper football. But I'm still not seeing it. I'm still not seeing us moving on from the first season. We seem to have regressed. So it's a bit of a disappointment. I'm glad we got a win, and we deserved a win. And not deserved it, but we should have got a win for Sir Bobby Charlton, because as soon as he was announced that he'd passed, I thought, right, these guys need to go and get a win.
Exactly.
I think it was important to get a win out of respect for him, and they fought hard. So it was a struggle. It was a tough one, but we got there in the end. But it's not convincing. It wasn't entirely convincing.
Right. Joe, Man United getting 3 points at Bramble Lane, a slug, rumble and tumble. I know it wasn't Liverpool, but 3 points. What's your take on that quickly, mate?
Yeah, 3 points. That's all you can really get out of this game. I just feel like, again, not seeing it on the pitch. No patterns of play. Like Vince said, we have regressed. I'm just not seeing it just yet. This isn't our starting 11. I don't think Ten Hag knows what his best starting 11 is, and we're still in the mud. But I'm glad we got the 3 points. But on a day like this, on a day like that, it was good to get it, especially with the kind of goal that got the winner with Dalot.
Your friend Dalot scored it, Joe. When he scored, I said, I wish Joe was. I would have said, "That's your mate. He just scored a crap."
Like I've always said, your primary job is what I rate you for, not the extra stuff. The extra stuff is great when you're doing your primary job right, and there's still questions about Dalot's defensive accolades or abilities.
Someone asked me to ask you a question, and I need you to be honest. Would Wan-Bissaka score that goal from there if Wan-Bissaka played yesterday?
Wan-Bissaka would kick it over the stadium.
Question to Joe.
Wan-Bissaka wouldn't have made that strike in the first place. That's not his game. So Wan-Bissaka would have tried to maybe kick that off. But no, he would not have been able to score that goal. but that doesn't help our case that we are. It's good that we're finding goals from elsewhere, right? And we're not dependent on, front three. But I didn't see enough from the front three today, on Saturday. So it's bittersweet. I'm happy it happened, but I don't want us to keep Dalot in the lineup because he might do that,
Joe, you just don't want to let go. You're like, I'm gonna give you some props, but I'm gonna.
No, don't get me wrong.
Are you not a fan of Dalot then?
He don't like Dalot
Not at all.
No, you're making it sound like I have some kind of agenda against him. I just feel like when Wan-Bissaka is in that lineup, there is a half that like the team no longer has to worry about. Like half of the field, the team no longer has to worry about, because whoever's their speediest wingers, you don't have to worry about it. I just like to feel that my defense can do that, So, like Lindelof, right? Lindelof is very good on the ball. He makes good passes going forward.
Okay.
But I wouldn't pick Lindelof over Varane or Martinez, who doesn't, like their primary job is to play defensively, and I rate that first before the forward stuff. So that's where I am. But Dalot has been a great steward for the team. He's a good squad player. I just feel like we need more, even like beyond the Wan-Bissaka. Beyond Wan-Bissaka is not the answer. I don't think either of them are really the answer to play the type of football that Ten Hag wants.
Maybe if we're chasing a game and desperate to score, then we get Dalot on. If we're defending a game and we need to just keep a clean sheet or not concede, then get Wan-Bissaka on. So they can each serve a purpose. But Ten Hag doesn't deploy them in that way.
So we saw the game yesterday. Like I said, Sheffield United, they've only got 2 points. They've not even got a win this season. And United was expected to bulldoze with them. But it wasn't the case. But
1 point.
3 points is what we got. Vim, give me 3 players who were the worst and the 3 who were just, in your book, top of the game.
Oh, the worst. Gosh. I thought Martial was a disappointment from what I remember. I just didn't see him really contribute.
15 minutes?
Yeah, I'm it's a throw of a dice bringing him on, but frankly, the problem with our squad is that the front 6, apart from Rasmus, don't seem to be a goal threat. They don't seem to be pitching in with the goals. Rashford has those moments every now and then, but he keeps doing what he does and dribbling into traffic. Apart from Rasmus, I don't feel like anyone's going to really score. Anthony, he's good on the right wing, but his end product is not always there. You know what he's going to do. He's going to cut back and shoot with his left. Everyone knows that. And that's why I think we struggle to score. We haven't got any real solid goal scorers. If we're trying to pick out the worst players, I know, Joe, you think he's good on the ball, but I really just don't rate Lindelof. I really think he's awful. He just seems to not have any decision making on what to do with the ball. He keeps raising his hands up in the air, thinking, "Who wants the ball? What shall I do with it?" I think he's really apprehensive. I don't think he should be a centre back, to be honest. I think maybe he'd be better. He's I don't know. I can't see any redeeming features in him. I really can't. I just think we need to shift him on. Any other worst players? McTominay had a good game. It was a nice little strike, a little bit scruffed, but he got the ball over line. But then he goes and handballs it straight away after.
Exactly,
and that's another pattern we have, that we score and we concede within 4 or 5 minutes. It just happens time and time again. So I can't think of the 3 worst, but Lindelof's definitely in there.
Right. Joey.
Well, I would say that the team overall didn't play great first half, so I wouldn't say anybody in particular was great or bad. McTominay kind of cancels, well, I won't say he cancels his goal, but that's the kind of banana slip that we're just notorious for.
It really is.
No, actually, I'm gonna call it, because if an act can win us the game, surely that can lose us the game. So that kind of cancels out. So if you look at his performance, there's just certain things that I'm seeing about our style of play that you can't really blame the players for. I saw Bruno playing very deep at times. It was confusing. The midfield is just, I don't know, it's imbalance or tactics. It's just not working to produce goals. It was barely working to hold possession in the first half. So I think first half, I don't know, I might have to give this one to Ten Hag because it just didn't seem like the tactics were there. And it made Sheffield United look a lot better than they were.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
A lot of people said McTominay, after scoring the goal and conceded the penalty, he disappeared through the game. Even though he scored and now conceded, his input just evaporated with the wind. That he was hiding again. He didn't see much of the ball. But people want to say, what did you think of Amrabat first and second half? I mean, the whole game, what was your take on Amrabat without a Casemiro with him today? You think it was better, Vim?
I think he did quite well. I think he handled himself decently. He was poised, and it would help if McTominay stayed back and just stayed with him as a pivot. And Bruno stayed up. I don't know why we keep turning Bruno into some kind of Swiss Army knife. Let's just get the basics. Why is Bruno the one that's always doing out of position duties? Just like, it makes it seem like we're trying to mix it up, but we're not. We're not fooling anyone. We're not fooling anyone sending Bruno to the right. We're not fooling anyone with Bruno playing deep. Stick your butt in front of our two pivots. Let's get the ball to you and have our wingers fly. Just get them the ball. Let's get there first with some proficiency. Then we can start moving him around, and maybe when he moves around, somebody else that fills that position just fulfills that same role. That's what patterns are. But our pattern is to be I don't know. It's like our pattern is to look like we don't know what we're doing, like we're not prepared. It's like that's our pattern because it has to be, because that's all we've been doing. I have no choice but to believe we look like this because Ten Hag wants us to. Right. Because we've looked like this enough games, so it is what it is.
Bim, your take on that one. McTominay, Amrabat.
Amrabat, I like Amrabat. He's got a good engine in him. He's all over the pitch, and it would be better if Casemiro was there. McTominay is always being played out of position. It started with Oli. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's an attack-minded person. He started off life as a striker, and we can see glimpses of his striking ability. He needs to be played up front as support or backup to Rasmus, and he doesn't really do anything else on the pitch. He's not the type to keep possession. He's not a controlling midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's got one instinct: get the ball and shoot. Just use him for that. That's what I would do. I don't know what Ten Hag is thinking, deploying him as a defensive midfielder, because he can't do it. He's never been able to do it, and we've seen that time and time again. What's the
Amrabat.
Yeah, Amrabat.
Amrabat hit the post and nearly scored.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I mean, he's all over the pitch. I remember in his debut, he was deployed as a left back, but he was attacking on the right wing, and he was actually defending from right up front of the right wing where Anthony would be. He is everywhere. This is what we saw in the World Cup with this guy. He's got an amazing engine in him. Yes, he's a little bit late on challenges, and that happens. That will come with fitness and his timing. But I think he's got the right attitude for us, for a squad for the future. He's definitely got the right minerals that we need in the caliber of player. So I like him. Casemiro is having a rotten season, and he's injured, so probably just as well. He needs a bit of a
It's
break, as
it's
does the
good that
son.
it's good we got Amrabat when we
Yes,
did. We
yeah,
needed somebody to
definitely.
fulfill that same role that Casemiro brings us, and get
Yeah,
a little bit of pressure off of Casemiro. Just
yeah,
Even though
maybe.
Casemiro is our top scorer.
yeah. But he's been looking miserable all season. He's not
Yeah.
enjoyed the football this season. You can tell. So it's just as well he's injured, if it's an injury,
Right. And
or
probably
if
I
he's
hope
just
when he
taking
comes
time
back,
out.
I hope when he comes back, he comes a bit fitter because he seems
Yeah,
a tad overweight, a few pounds of a few pork
Are
pies.
you
I don't
serious,
know.
bro? Like,
I'm being
have
serious,
you
mate.
seen? Have you wait? Didn't you see Casemiro with his shirt off? Why do we keep calling these guys fat? The
he's
dude's
he's
got a
uh
six pack.
he's gone from 10% fat to 11%
I know. Like, what are we talking about here? Like the dude. I mean,
1%.
yeah.
But you see,
Of
he's
course, there's
fit.
match
Well,
fitness.
maybe his fitness levels
There's
have
match
dropped because
fitness.
his man
Yeah.
fitness
Yeah,
probably so because his later tackles, he's mistimed, he's all over the place. It
he did
seems.
that a lot last season as well, though. Remember we read
Well,
cards.
he compensated because I think he still had a bit more sprint in him than he has this season.
Mm.
He seems to have digressed. Like, I don't know if his age catching up. I don't know, but we'll wait and see.
He's just not kicked on this season.
He
He just
has
hasn't.
not, but he's still
No.
the top scorer.
He's still
Yeah,
grinding. He's still doing this thing. So
He's still
he's our
doing it.
midfielder,
that's
man.
an
It should
you
be the
know.
front three that top scores. It's just
Exactly.
ridiculous.
I'm going to quickly ask: are you guys worried about Rashford currently? Because he did miss a few chances. Yeah, he did. Are you not? Are you a bit in a? Are you kind of like expecting more from the front three? Because they're still not firing on all cylinders. I don't know if they. I don't know when they're going to fire. Maybe against City next week. Joe, you
No,
start on that
no
one.
way.
It's a derby. Anything can happen, mate.
Oh, it's a derby. Anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. And you've noticed what's happening with our derbies
City are
the
not
last few
exactly
years.
firing on all cylinders. You know that, right?
Yeah, but they have a Manchester United setting. Okay, so let's just hold that real quick. As far as what was the question? As far as like scoring,
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you concerned that Rashford is not there? There was one time
Rashford.
that there was one opportunity he had. He didn't know whether he was going to dribble the guy past. He lost the ball. People like, it's just like for 10 seconds, he was still with the ball and the defender still standing in front of him. Like, what are you doing, mate? Is this keeping his confidence? But he seems to be doing well for England.
Let's stop. Like, I'm not counting anything that happens with England because one, he's playing with so much talent. Like, who at Manchester United is making him getting the ball and making that pass like Jude Bellingham? Like, we don't have a Jude Bellingham. We don't have a Raheem Sterling. We don't. There's so many things. Like, players are supposed to look better with the international English team because there's so much talent around you, right? So at Manchester United, he needs to make better decisions when he's playing for the squad,
Right.
because like and to me, his body language is still an issue. I don't think he's got a good enough relationship with Rasmus.
Rasmus.
It feels.
He made a pass to him yesterday, which he just an inch away.
I just feel like if we had more of a pattern, we would create more chances, more of the same chances. Yeah. Everything just seems so random, I just wish they would just get it together, man. It seems like there's a bit of tension with how Rashford wants to play and how Ten Hag wants him to play. And I'm seeing some of the same issues, with selfishness and all of that. Even that goal he scored with England, bro. Kane was wide open on the right side.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that.
So I knew that people were gonna laud him and everything, say that was a great goal, but that's not the play I want him to make.
But
I want him.
Jude Bellingham created that space for him.
Yeah,
when he went, because Rashford does one thing like what Anthony does, is kick the ball to the right, create a little bit of space, and whack it.
Yeah.
But you have an intelligent player in Jude Bellingham next to him who took two defenders with him and opened up the space for him. And that's how Rashford is able to score. Rashford is almost a one-trick pony, isn't he?
It seems to be very always getting to that point that people are looking microscopically into Marcus Rashford's game.
Yeah.
I mean, he damn near ran towards, like, when he shot the ball, he was around 2-3 people. Like, why is it that every time?
Yeah.
Every time it's always him trying to do like the extra most difficult. I don't get it. The option to make the better pass is never an option. And I'm glad he scored, but I don't want that as an excuse. I don't care how well Maguire did that game. I don't care about all of that, right? Because people over here, I'm hearing the media now. They're trying to talk about Maguire.
Yes, we'll come into that. We'll come into that.
Okay.
All right, Vim, what's your take on this whole? Are you concerned about United's attack? Because the goals are not coming from the attackers per se.
I am. I'm very concerned because, as I mentioned earlier, Rasmus seems like the only one that could potentially score. We need to get goals from Garnacho and Anthony, and we need to get more goals from Bruno, like we did in the first season. But the system, whatever, seems to be starving them of it, or it's kind of taking away their confidence to score. I don't feel that the team is confident in winning games and scoring goals, and as a result, that lack of confidence is seeping through the whole of the team, through to the defense, where we get peppered all the time. I think there's something wrong with the system, or there's something wrong with the style of play we have, or there's something wrong in the camp, that it's showing and surfacing every single game that we see, that we look really vulnerable and we look really open and wide open for lesser teams to completely destroy. There is no solidity in our game, in our style of play. Wow. And there is definitely something going on in that camp. It just doesn't seem right. I don't even feel like, I was just watching the game yesterday and it just looked so disjointed. Like, when you watched Sheffield, they seem to play with purpose. They seem to have a style of play where they stay close together, they stay tight, and they're doing some one-touch passing, which is brilliant. But they all want to win the ball. Every single player wants to win the ball. They want to get first to the ball. When they get that ball, they make a pass, and they play with intensity and pace, and they run together, and they seem to play as a unit. We are the complete opposite. It's like one person gets the ball, and right, go and do what you can do. Try and make something happen. You don't see the support from the other team. We just don't look so disjointed. We look like we're playing Sunday League football sometimes.
Wow.
It's kind of tragic. I don't know if you guys see that, but I just see like a Sunday League team sometimes. I honestly think there's something drastically wrong in this team.
Oh, wow.
And I just keep seeing it week after week. I don't know if they've stopped playing for the manager, if there's problems because all these players are being sidelined. Some problems with the regime of training and fitness. Are they being coached properly? Are the team playing for the coaches? There's something not right, and you must sense it. We just don't know what it is yet.
Thank you, Vim. Kenneth, Mr. Fortress, welcome to the show. Thank you very much. Representing the UK.
Yes, it's good to be part of the call again. Thank you, guys.
Happy Sunday, mate. That's you cool, mate. We're just talking about the front three for United. Are you concerned they're not scoring goals? I mean, Garnacho did miss a chance that Martial laid on a plate for him, and towards the end of the game, he just placed it. Is it they're not clinical? Are they not clinical enough? Because is this going to come back and hurt them? Because we're relying on defenders and midfielders.
Yeah, before I address that, it's important to notice that the entire team are not playing well. No one's playing well. The team are not playing well. And when you have a team that's dysfunctional, then you're not going to score goals. That is as simple as that. But what I will say is we won at this point. It's all about winning. I don't care how we need to play well, but let's get some consistency. Let's win 3 games, 4 games. And I'm sure that's, we can then start looking at performances and things like that. It's just really annoying that we've got City next. I wish we had another team that we could beat just to get, just to keep the momentum going, get the confidence going. But
so you've kind of written that game up next week?
Oh, I like to be positive, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, the front three. I mean, Haaland had some. Hoyland, sorry, had some chances. The one that Rashford passed, the ball was
Yeah,
it was slightly behind him, so he had to
yeah.
move it, turn and shoot. And Rashford could have shot, but then the one that Rashford shot as well with his left foot that went wide. In the first half, Hoyland has had a chance when Bruno shot and the keeper parried it. Everyone thought it was offside, but it wasn't, and the keeper made a save. But yeah, it's all about Tuesday now. You know, we can't even look further. We can't even look at City. We have to
That's
look at
true.
Tuesday.
Copenhagen.
Tuesday is humongous. It's a huge. You can't even in fact overemphasize how huge that game is. We have to. I don't care if we have to handball, pick up the ball, and someone runs from the halfway line and throws into the net. And as long as the ref gives it, and we win the game, that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
We're at that point.
Yep.
Right. Vim, are we now results over performance or performance over results? Do you want to win ugly or you want to play beautiful and we lose? Where are you in the mindset of United quickly?
Neither of those options. I want to play beautiful football and win.
No,
Why
happening.
would we
This thing ain't
spend
happening,
so
bro.
much money on this team that we can't play beautiful football and win? That's where we need to be. If we're going to be rubbish at the moment, then I'll just take the 3 points and win. But I cannot say I'll enjoy watching it.
Oh, well,
And to be honest, I'll have a lot of critique over these players and the style of football because it's not enjoyable to watch and it's not what I want as a fan.
There you go.
So if we need the 3 points and we need to just do a job, fine, we'll do that. Take it.
Now move on.
No, we're far off from the ideal.
Right. Joe, performance over results, results over performance.
I mean, I'll take the results any day, all right? Because I know we're not good enough right now, right? So it's about lowering expectation. I don't think this team is capable of playing fantastic football. We need to come to that realization. And once we've swallowed that pill, then now it's all about I don't know,
grinding out a result,
just grinding it out. But I'm not excited for that. I'm not excited for these kind of games. I'm not excited to never be we are never at ease. Like it's every Saturday is okay. Is Manchester United going to ruin my weekend today? You know, because it's
surely it hasn't come to that, Joe. Come on now.
Bro, listen, man. I'm already preparing myself, you know, mentally if we're gonna piss the bed. I mean, like we see it in the first half. I saw it in the first half, man. We're seeing the same things like, oh shit, here we go again. There was a chance early in the game where we almost conceded. It was Maguire that kind of laid off a guy.
Yes,
it wasn't his man, but
Onana held the ball.
He just passed. Yeah, it's just I'm like, man, if Sheffield was a better team, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
Listen, if Sheffield was a mid-table team, they would have won that game.
Wow.
So I appreciate the 3 points. I love it. And as far as Champions League game, man, it's gonna be the same old, and I kind of feel like we're just prolonging the inevitable with that Champions League, where we are a team that's depleted because of injuries, and I understand that this is a tournament that we should be in, right? We should qualify in, but what I feel like this rebuild it's going to be even more difficult if Ten Hag is not given a little bit of leeway to get this team right, because the expectation is for us to go and win that game in a tournament we have no business in, man. It's clear. We have no business in that tournament at all. So to be honest, I want to get out of Europe as quickly as possible so we can work on the league.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's work on the domestics.
That's the money generation, mate.
I don't know. It's the money generation doesn't mean shit if the money's going to be mismanaged, right? There is no point in us encouraging for this squad, for this team to make more money if that money is never. It doesn't look like it's making the squad better. So we need to change the individuals that make those decisions, and that can't be done until those individuals stop making money.
Oh, that's a very good point. Now,
So
takeover time.
Sorry, before
We-
you go into takeover time, I just want to address something quickly to Vim's point about playing good football and winning. That's not going to happen. There are key players there that you need to get rid of for this to happen. Number one is your favorite footballer, Bruno, needs not to start. Rashford as well needs to sit on the bench. As long as you have those two players there, you're not going to play good football, Vim. Because
wow.
you saw
Can't say I agree
Bruno.
with you. Can't say I
No,
agree
the
with you.
thing is,
Rashford, yes, but not.
Did you see the
Bruno.
video? Did you see the? I know you're, Vim. You're kind of blindsided with Bruno.
I'm
like,
not
you don't-
blindsided, my friend.
You
You're
are.
blindsided. You're
You are.
blindsided.
I'll
We
tell you
still
why.
think Qatar is still there as a game,
Why.
as a player. They're not even
You
there.
see, look at the compilation that Richard sent in the group. As soon as
I'll
Bruno
go see. I haven't seen
I
it.
make
I'll
up my
check
own
it.
mind on
haven't
stuff.
seen that. When did he send that one?
When did he send it?
Yeah, I think this afternoon.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, as soon as Bruno gets the ball, his first instinct is to whack it first time to the wingers. You can't do that. You just can't. It will work. Sometimes you need to do
So,
that. Yeah.
so do
Especially
you
when you're
not
playing-
think Ten Hag, the coach, would say to him, "Well, you're breaking my system because I don't want you to hoof it up to the wingers"? Don't you think he would tell him not to do
would have
that?
told him that.
And if so, why does he keep playing him every single game?
That's
that's
what
the
I'm saying,
coach.
because there's no one else. There's no one
He's
else
the
to play.
coach. There
There's
is
no
other,
one-
there are others to play.
Yeah, but imagine if he drops Bruno and he loses.
Bruno was the
This is-
most played player, probably I think every season since we bought him.
Yeah,
He plays pretty much every game, 50
He
He
games
shouldn't be
plus a
playing that
year.
many games. I agree,
But the coach likes him for a reason.
yeah, as long as those two players are there, Rashford that keeps running into blind alleys, and you have
I
Bruno
agree with
there,
you on Rashford. I
Yeah.
don't think Bruno
Yeah.
is the big problem here.
we're not going to get. You need someone that can get the ball, turn, pass, open up, give it to me back. You take it, give it to me back. Go. Let's keep the ball, tiki-taka, pass it around.
No one seems to do that. No one seems to keep the ball. I mean, you've probably
That's
seen
what I mean.
lots
We
of
don't have
times,
the players to do
but
that.
it's not
We don't
only
have the
Bruno.
players.
Yeah. So, well,
It's not
I think
just Bruno.
they're not being coached properly to do that.
Wow.
How can you not do one-touch passing? I mean, this is what you do in five-a-side football all the time. These guys are training with five-a-side formats throughout the week. How can you not do one-touch passing at this level? There's something else wrong.
It is worrying. It is very worrying. At this point, it is becoming ridiculous. But
It's
like
confidence.
you said, we have. It's like people are scared to make the pass that's going to go to a wrong, because there were a few wrong passes that went straight back to the Sheffield United player. And like, really, bro, you can't see. But like Joe said, it's not the best. It's not the most pleasing team to watch at the moment. It's not. I watched Man City and Brighton yesterday. Even at 2-0 down, you could still see Brighton making the plays from behind, just patterns and patterns and patterns. But we are so far behind these teams. But where we are now, just got the 3 points, and we keep moving on. It's all going to come. They always say it's all going to come out in the wash next Sunday. This time next Sunday, we probably be either laughing or crying.
I think next Sunday is going to be a good hammering for us, isn't it? We haven't got it yet, but we're due a hammering.
I don't think
Could it
it'll
be
a
next
hammer.
Sunday?
If we can have Casemiro and
Casemiro's injured.
He's not playing.
No, he's back. No, Van Gaal said he's back for the midweek games. If we can have him there, and he partners Amrabat in that midfield, and Bruno plays in the 10. Hopefully,
Do you think we can win next week?
We'll come to that. We'll do that before we finish.
Okay, fine.
It's
We'll leave say that question.
It's going to be a very, very tough one. Believe me. Right. Let's quickly jump into the takeover bit. Vim, you have some news for us on this whole calamity.
Yeah.
Do you think Sergio has bitten off more than he can chew?
I don't think he's bitten off more than he can chew. I think he's dealing with some owners that don't really want to let go, like in Joel Glazer and Avram. So I think they'll try to wangle as much as they can out of him, take his 1.3 billion and give him his least powers possible. But I don't think Jim Ratcliffe wants that. When it was first announced, he said that he'll get all sporting control. Now I'm hearing that Joel Glazer Sir Jim Ratcliffe and one other,
Mm.
I think is director of football for Jim Ratcliffe, will be in a committee of 3 to decide on sporting decisions. So it seems it's going to be the 3 of them. So Joel Glazer stays involved. So Joel Glazer FC remains.
Wow.
It's kind of sad, really, because it's his stupid signings of the past decade that screwed this club, along with Mr. Woodward. But I'll mention this later. I'll let you guys think, but I have a reason why the Qatar bid would have never worked. I'll come back to
Joe,
it. I'll come back to you there.
Did, has Sir Jim bitten off more than he can chew?
I mean, he had no business there in the first place. This is like, if this is Vegas, this is the big boys table, right? He's over there just stunting, man. Like, it's clear he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the backing. He's just nibbling at like just 25% with no power, no nothing. This is just, I don't even know why he's there. He's just there for the vibes. He just wants to. It's almost as if it's like a billionaire's badge to be part of something or have proximity to Manchester United. It's almost as if he just wants to be around this. He just wants to be in the room. That's what it is. And he's paid that much money to be in the room. He's not allowed to say anything.
Wow.
Nobody's gonna listen to him anyway because his stocks got no control. No control.
What's he buying 25% of, by the way? Does anyone know?
I think he's buying 25% of some of the shares.
The shares, and he wants to negotiate voting rights as well to nullify Joe and Abrams' voting right, that he could also be part of the voting.
But is he buying 25% of the Glazers shares? Was he buying 25% Class B stock, or is he buying 25% of 100% ownership of the entire club, which includes public and private shares?
I think he's buying.
This is the thing, isn't it? It's always a bit
We don't know
vague.
the details.
We don't know. It's very vague.
It's a hot mess, and like any way you cut this, the Glazers are going to be in charge of it. They're asking for more control. So there is no good. There's nothing good that can. I don't know. I don't know what good can come out of this. The whole thing's been a shambles.
Yeah. The good news is that nothing has been signed. So that's where I'm sitting on. Nothing has been signed. The board meeting was supposed to happen last week Thursday.
They postponed it.
Exactly. Nothing concrete came out. It didn't happen. So I'm happy for things to be like this. Than
still have a shot.
Than something else, that something bad happens. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe things will change.
Change to what?
Someone can come in. I'm still hoping that someone will come in.
Yo, people don't just have like 8 bills just lying around. Like, anybody that could have been in the conversation would have already been in the conversation. You know what I mean?
I think Ken is still holding out that Sheikh Jassim will come back to the table. But I think you guys, and I think Billy, I think that ship has already sailed, in my opinion.
I think it sailed a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the reason being, and I only came to learn of this recently, is that you've probably all heard about what's going on in the Middle East.
Right. No.
Right?
In terms of the...
You must have, no? So Israel, Palestine, Hamas, all of that stuff.
Right.
So obviously Hamas are fighting against Israel because they want to keep Palestine, or whatever they've got left of it. Something I found out recently, and I know we're going all geopolitical here, is guess who has been the biggest funder of Hamas since they were set up?
Don't tell me the Qataris.
Yes.
Wow.
Over 2 billion have gone over. No, 2 billion has gone over to Hamas from Qatar. Glazers, obviously, where are they from?
Jewish. They're Jewish.
Yeah. So this is a political thing.
Wow.
That Glazers don't want to do business with Qatar, or they want them to overpay as recompense for the billions that they've been funding to Hamas, which is to basically invade their own country. I think Qatar never had a shot because of this very reason.
Damn.
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm flabbergasted right now. I'm literally stunned. I said, like, what the hell? I mean, if that kind of makes sense to a point, because I did say in our last show, they never really wanted to sell it to the Qataris. They never wanted, because even when the Qataris offered more, they still rejected it. So even if the Qataris had offered probably even 8 or 9 billion, which they can offer, but they don't want to, I feel the Glazers didn't want to give it to them for their own reason. But Ken, did you hear his reason just now?
No, I didn't.
Quickly go over that again for him, Vim.
Joe, what's your thoughts first? Then I think Kenny will get a feel of what we're talking about.
Well, I need to see, in order for me to make a comment about that, I need to see how and where you received the information that they have been funding Hamas. If I can get that, I'll take a look and move from there. If that's the case, yeah, it's not a great look, but at the same time, you're also saying that there was a price. So if there's a price, right, that the Glazers are willing to put down, despite the whole idea that, they're funding Hamas, to me, that delegitimizes the Glazers' stance. If there's a price in which they would be more willing to, allow the Glazers to come in for. So I need to see. I need to see that.
Yeah, Vim, sorry, I just saw what you posted. This only started coming out. I'm not buying that because this only started coming out because of this war.
Not related to Man United. This is bigger than Man United.
Yeah, no, no. But this only came about. This war only came. I know it's been going on for a while, but
this war only came about when? Just now?
No.
When? What are you saying?
3 weeks ago. It's been going on, but it hasn't been back and forth. So
you obviously don't know the history. This has been going on for over 100 years.
Vim, I'm not stupid. I know this.
Okay.
I know
it's
this.
not 3 weeks.
Hold on, guys.
No. What he's saying is,
what I'm saying is, it only came about, resurfaced 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so it hasn't been good. The war has not been
true.
On. It is.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
There's been a peace treaty.
It's only been in the mainstream news 3 weeks for 3 weeks. Anyway, look, that's a different topic. You go do your research and we can talk about this next week. But
yeah,
I've been following this for a while.
Hold on, one at a time.
The thing is,
because they wouldn't have entertained it in the first place. If it was, I know everyone is jumping up and down. I think that's I don't think that's accurate because that they wouldn't have entertained it in the first place. They wouldn't have. He wouldn't have progressed from stage 1 to stage 2. You remember the process. Let's take this back.
To make a point. Yeah.
Everyone was invited to put in a bid. A bid was put in, and some select people were not allowed to proceed to the next stage. So the Qataris went from stage 1 to stage 2. They wouldn't have taken them through those. Was it 5 stages?
So how do you know it's not a smokescreen just to keep us fans quiet and keep people happy that Qatar's going to take over a club?
They would have gone with Elliott Group. They could have gone with other. If there were so many,
but the Elliott Group would never work for them because it keeps the Glazers in control, and that's what the fans did not want. Hence, that's why we were damaging their share price and boycotting their sponsors. So, to me, it feels like it's been a big smokescreen. It's just another illusion that they dangle in front of us.
Well, again, we can't say that because nothing is confirmed.
No, but it will never be confirmed. These things, they're illusions to make you feel like something is really happening, but it's not. And that's what a smokescreen is.
Yeah,
so we will never know the truth as humble fans.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Whether it's true or not, I mean, there's no official confirmation that Sheikh Jassim has completely pulled out. We're just listening to what people have said, what journalists have said.
That's where we get most of our news from. I mean, I think a lot of outlets have confirmed that he's he's walked away from the deal.
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying.
Pole position.
But
then where else? Sources at the club are saying that.
So Vim is saying the Qataris have done. They've had enough. Ken, you don't believe anything be signed and dotted that the Qataris can still
absolutely
come back?
not. Absolutely not. They can turn around. They can come back. They can come. Look, how these things work, right? You know how these things work. Someone pulls out. It doesn't mean that they're not coming back. They haven't completely ruled it out and say, yeah, we're backing out. We're never going to come back. If something happens, let's see how the Sir Jim Ratcliffe stuff goes. You never know, they might come back with a better bid. There's nothing wrong with coming back with stopping them from coming
We'll
back
just have
with
to
a
wait
better
and see,
bid.
eh?
7 billion. You
Mate,
just
I
have
mean,
to wait and
Qatar
see.
could get it if they offered 6 billion in total, which is what they wanted. But you know, at 1.3 billion for 25% stake, that's not that far off, is it? Really?
It's not far.
So why is it they never entertained Qatar's bid? And also, what I was
Exactly.
hearing throughout the whole of the 10 months is that Jassim never spoke to the Glazers. Never. They never actually had a conversation. Whereas SJR said, "Oh, the Glazers are lovely people." So SJR and the Glazers were meeting, but Jassim and those Glazers never met, and
No,
I
they
find that
met.
quite
They met
unusual.
through a third
No, they
party
never
company.
met.
Remember that the third
There
party
was
company came
Yeah,
to
so
Old Trafford.
they had third parties doing the negotiations for them. They never
Mhm.
met in person, and they
Yeah,
didn't
but
want to meet for whatever reason. So I find that a bit funny.
I don't,
yeah,
I don't
Anyway,
well,
think that's how.
Joe,
I
come
don't.
in here, please.
I don't. Okay, so we're making a lot of assumptions as
Yeah.
to how billionaires do business on a daily basis. You can't tell me that every time this is a massive merger, right? Of
Yeah.
two entities, right? Every time there's a massive merger, like you can't just assume because you're not seeing pictures of each respective CEO, shooting the shit in an office or having meetings that nothing's going on. There are people that get paid millions of dollars to act
merge.
on the behalf of these
of
guys.
course.
Yeah,
They don't
true.
need to be. They don't need to be anywhere. And it's 2023. They could have had Zoom calls. They could have had a shit ton of meetings, but not every meeting has to be public. They have non-disclosure agreements. They could have had a meeting this whole entire time, and everybody that was in it had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. That doesn't mean like a lot of stuff that goes on in the background of business is completely out of the public view, and I don't think we are in the place to try to say how the merger has been going on. Like we
Yeah,
have no clue. We have
it's
the
a
best
valid point.
reporters in England have no
It's all
clue
pure
what's been going
speculation.
on in the
Everything
No,
right
but
now is speculation.
this is all we're doing. It's a valid point you make, Joe. But as with the sale of anything, whether it be a house or a business or something, the seller and the buyer at some point may want to meet just to see who they're passing their asset
Not at
on
this
to.
level, bro.
But we
The
don't
only
know
people that
that.
need to meet are the lawyers and the accountants.
That's a 50-50. I
That could
mean,
happen, right? Like if it's a business you own, Joe, and you built it up to be a $5 business, and I want to buy it from you, would you not want to meet me at some stage, thinking, who is this guy of him? Do I want to sell the business to him?
No,
Is he going to look
no,
after my
No,
asset?
not if
not
There is
really.
sometimes that
No.
it's a personal thing because these guys have owned it for 20
the
plus
only
years.
time. No. If the only
just
time
saying.
we meet, the only time we meet is when you're ready to sign.
Yes, to shake
I don't
hands.
meet you.
Yeah.
I don't talk to you before you're ready to sign. You
Then
talk to my
why is
lawyers,
it
you talk to my
SJR did
accountant, you
meet the
talk to my
Glazers?
manager. Say
SJR
what?
met the Glazers.
The Bank
I
of
don't know how many
England,
times,
Sheikh Jassim's
but they met.
company basically is basically run by the managing director of the Bank of America. Sorry, Bank of America. He was the one. His team, that team there. So the MD of the Bank of America and a few other top guns were basically talking to the Rain Group, and that was the arrangement, and
Right.
that's public notice. The Rain Group were liaising with the representatives of Sheikh Jassim and SJR. If you're a billionaire, you don't have time to be. Why would Sheikh Jassim fly to America to go and meet?
Do you remember we were
There's
having
no
a
point
Zoom
in
call
doing
once,
that.
right?
You do,
We were having a
like
call
Joe
once.
said, you would do that to shake hands.
Do you remember
After
we were
you-
having a call once? And Devin said there's a flight going out from Qatar to where the Glazers were. Do you remember? And he gave us the
Miami,
flight
yeah.
number.
I don't know.
We were all hopeful. Like, are they going to go and meet? I'm just saying,
Right.
yeah, putting stuff out there. Tim, what do you think?
I just think at this day and age, I think it's not till the final signatures they probably will meet. But at this day and age, they pay solicitors, accountants, financial analysts to do all the stuff for them. They're just sitting there and just get feedback on updates, what's going on. I don't think they meet at this stage. Can't see it happening. Joe Glazer, Sir Jim is an Englishman. He probably sees things differently, and he probably wants to, suck up to them. He probably wants to meet them, have a cup of tea with them. But things are different now. I mean, the Middle Eastern, these are very proud people. They don't believe in bowing to people per se. I don't think they're going to ever meet till shake hands like, okay, for the sake of this, we shake hands, the business is done. But at this stage, I can't see them talking or even meeting. They've got enough parties to manage it for them. So let's now move on quickly to our last part of this, the show. Copenhagen and Man City stand in our way for 2 games this week. I'm going to start with Ken. Copenhagen on Tuesday. Where are we?
Oh,
do or die.
I think it's going to be one of those games where we probably score first and end up conceding, and I don't know. We just, my heart saying one thing and my head saying something else.
So what's your head saying?
I am not confident. Did you see what Copenhagen did to Bayern Munich?
No, I didn't.
Granted,
did they win?
They lost, but they destroyed Bayern Munich.
Wow.
Granted, they were at home. But
what was the final score?
It was, I think, wasn't it 4-3? Bayern scored in the last minute.
4-3. Wow.
Something.
Bayern's defense is not that great for them because City goes down.
I think they were.
Didn't we get that against Bayern as well?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, about 3-2 or something. They scored very, very late to win the game.
It was 2-1.
2-1, yeah. So they were winning. They were winning 1-0 for about, I think it was 71 minutes, and then Bayern scored and something, and then they scored again. Yeah, so they're a good team. They're a good team.
Is that 3 points on Tuesday? 3 points on Sunday? Quickly.
So Tuesday. Oh, are you talking about Man City? Yeah.
I'll say, yeah, 3 points just about on Tuesday and maybe draw. This is what I want to happen, and then draw.
Do you think the Man City game is winnable for us?
I don't know about that one, mate.
Absolutely.
Kenny.
No chance.
If they have a man sent off, because it seems City seem to get a player sent off every game now. So they might get a player sent off, and we might have 10 we might play 11 against 10.
Rodri.
No, we're gonna have to play against 9. So, like, you need to wipe that smile out your face.
And
I'm gonna let you know that right now. It would be a struggle with 9 men. I'm letting you know that right now. Okay, we have nobody.
Joe, while you're there running me down about trying to get 3 points against Man City, give me Copenhagen result and Man City result quickly, please.
Copenhagen results 2-2. Manchester City
2-2.
2-2.
So that you want us to be out of Europe anyway, so I'm kind of not surprised.
We need to be out of Europe. Tim,
really, bro.
we okay. With our current, we are out of unless we're gonna buy a bunch of players in January, we need to save and protect what we got, man. We can't be in all these tournaments. It's too much. It's too much. We have to say that to ourselves. We need to look in the mirror and say, we do not have the capabilities this season, right? Regardless of, before we even start talking about gameplay and playing well, we just don't have the personnel.
So you want us to be like Chelsea, just play, we're just local this season, just locals.
Bro, we're a mid-table team. That's what mid-table teams do. They play for local trophies. That's what we are, bro.
Joe, what if we can get, let's just say somehow we manage to get through this first round, we get to the knockout round, we get battered, but we manage to win and go through. When it goes into quarterfinals, anything can happen.
I think it that far. Joe is seen as in Europa and knocked out of Europa. That is Joe's vision.
Anything can happen, but this team has proven over the last 10 years, time and time again, you know what's about to happen. Bananas.
So you're saying 2-2? You're saying 2-2 Copenhagen?
2-2 Copenhagen, yeah.
And Manchester Derby?
3-1 City.
Okay.
And that's me hoping it's just like that.
Okay.
Right?
Bimmy, Copenhagen and Manchester Derby, please.
So Copenhagen are top of their respective table of the Danish league.
Ouch.
However, we have 2 specialists in our team. Any ideas who that is?
Rasmus
and Eriksson.
Right.
Not that it's going to help, but it's just a bit of a joke. I don't know Copenhagen's form, but if they're top of the table, they must be good, right? I don't know how good the Danish league is. Where are we? We're brandishing. Where are we? 10th position.
8th. I think they moved up to 8th yesterday.
Us, okay, only just, right? a supercomputer predicted where we'd finish at the end of the league, in the Premier League, not Champions League. Any
I
ideas
don't believe
what
that
number
one's
that was?
That's gonna work.
That there's a supercomputer based on form and injuries and all the other stuff.
Right.
They predicted that Man City is going to win the league, and we are going to end up in 9th. Champions League is obviously disastrous at the moment, and we've lost 2. We're bottom of the table. Copenhagen have lost 1, drawn 1. Bayern at the top. If we don't win this game, I think we're going to be bowing out pretty soonish. So I don't really mind either way. I think the club needs to be the players need to be humiliated a little bit more to show that you're earning this much kind of money. No. If I was earning 300 grand a week and I'm playing average football, I want the public to have a go at me saying, "Sharpen up." Well, Ten Hag, the spotlight's going Ten Hag. What the hell are you doing? We're not going to progress out of this group. It's obvious.
Wow.
And I don't think we should bow out because we can focus on the Premier League, which we're not going to even get into the top 4. So a little bit more humiliation, a little bit more humbling of the players to show where we are and how bad this football is. They need the spotlight turned on them, a little bit more criticism, because whatever Ten Hag's doing is not working. Whatever the players is not working. So they need to be humbled a little bit more.
Jesus.
I know it's pretty harsh, right?
So you're literally saying they're not going to win on Tuesday. They're not going to win on Sunday.
No, I don't think they're going to win on Tuesday. They don't deserve to win on Tuesday. And if they win, it's going to be a scrape. And it's going to be a fluke. And they're going to get battered on Sunday. No, honestly, this football this season is absolutely shocking. Honestly, I might as well just go down to the park and watch the Sunday league football. It's more entertaining. Or watch basketball. Honestly, I mean, every other game is more entertaining than what we put on.
I like Joe did say earlier. He said if you lower your expectations, you won't be too disappointed.
My expectations have lowered.
I'll watch United every week, but
so do I.
I've been watching, guys. I've been watching the rugby. The rugby's been really good. Did
England win the game yesterday?
Well,
yeah, no, they lost just narrowly. But when you're in the passion that the players bring, when I watch rugby, the semi-final, the quarterfinals, have been absolute spectacles. When you watch it, you're like, wow, this is what sports is supposed to do to you. Like you see the
passion, you see the competitiveness.
Yeah, they're crying, singing the national. They're literally crying, and they go in there 100%, grafting. They come out. Even the losing team, they've put in a shift. And I watch Man United, and I see Rashford. Did you see how many times the camera panned to Rashford? Did you see that he wasn't sweating? Did anyone notice that he was not sweating?
like I was saying before, body language.
How can you be a forward and you're not sweating?
He's always looking down, isn't he, at the ground? It's like no emotion. No emotion. But I feel that the players have a loser mentality now.
Joke.
Once you lose and lose and lose and keep on losing, it always becomes normalized. And I think losing is losing
and panting and going, because you've put in 100%. They're not even putting in 50%. So like Rashford is not putting in 50%. He's not.
So I think when you keep losing and losing and losing and you play rubbish football, losing becomes normalized. And I think this is what it is for them. That losing a game is a normal thing for this team now. That when they lose and they walk off the pitch, they don't look upset, they don't look angry, they don't argue with anyone like City does or Liverpool do. They don't get worked up and fired up for losing. They don't beat themselves up. They just walk off like, yeah, it's another day at the office. Have you all seen that? There's no real passion as they walk off the pitch to a loss. They look around and they do the humble clap. Yeah, thanks for coming and watching us lose another game. Thanks for coming and watching this loser team.
There's no.
That's how it is.
It hurts. It does.
Yeah, there's no real sadness for us fans. You feel it. We're sad. We're like, oh, our weekend's ruined. But they're thinking, you know what? Yeah, let's just get to the shower and let's go home and play some games or
jump into the Ferraris and off to the mansions.
Exactly. And do our endorsements, adverts, pose, I need to go to Adidas in the morning to do an advert and get paid. That's all they think about. Players are running and thinking, dude, come on. You know how hard it is.
Do you think that loser mentality is breeding up or feeding up to Ten Hag now? That he's almost given in as well.
As the manager, he should be able to. his job is to correct it, but also a manager can only do so much. It's got to be the mindset of the player, want to win, want to achieve. But if you're also a player who's never achieved, you won't know what it's like to achieve. Being in Man United, a lot of players don't deserve to be there. We know that fact. They're not. Most of them are not serial winners, so they won't understand. When Ronaldo was here and he said he wanted to do this, they accused him like, "Don't tell us what to do." This is all coming out in the wash now. They don't give a damn. They don't care. But I think they're beginning to realize teams are actually making them look even worse than they actually are. Teams are making them look even worse because Sheffield United bossing you, Crystal Palace bossing you, Brentford bossing you, just barely making it. But I'm not going to stop watching them. If they could get 3 points for me for the next 10 games and play poor, I will take the 3 points any day. But it is what it is. At this point, it is what it is. I'm not expecting anything, but give me 3 points if you can. On Tuesday, they will beat Copenhagen. On Sunday, they're either going to lose or they're going to draw. They are not going to win Man City. It's not happening. Only Man City gets players sent off. That's the only way.
So, Tim, you think we'll beat Copenhagen?
Yes, we will. The crowd will be behind them. The whole Bobby Charlton thing. They will be. They need to. They'll be ready for this one. This one, they'll be ready because I think they fully know they lose this. They don't get 3 points. They're done.
They're done. And we're
to be out after 3 games. That's an embarrassment.
I think they'll be up for it, but only temporarily until they go down.
Then they'll concede first. If they concede first,
that tends to be the case. Yeah.
If they concede first, and they've been having chances, and if the ball is not going in, the heads drop. Say they go 2-0 down, it's game over, and they won't come back. If they score first, the momentum be there. But it all depends on how it's going to be based on how quick they could get the balls in the nets. If they keep going back and forth and hesitating and messing around, the longer the game goes on, it's better for Copenhagen. Because Copenhagen are taking them back to Copenhagen next week. So, you know what I mean? United got to get a result.
And Tim, our build-up is so slow, Tim.
Yeah. I saw that yesterday. It was slow.
Oh my God. At least when Martinez is there, he can zip the ball, pass the ball straight lines into midfield. With Maguire, he takes the touch, Fair enough, he played well yesterday.
He was man of the match. And Sky Sports put out a stat of every time he started, United haven't lost. So they're making him like he's the big chief. And even bothered debating with it. I just could not be bothered.
Stupid stats. Anyway, we get the ball. Our build-up is lethargic. That by the time it's either we go through this slow build-up, or we try to hoof it first time when someone should get the ball and then pass it, or maybe play a through ball. We hoof it first time to the wingers. All Maguire was doing yesterday was trying to look for Rashford on the left. It's so obvious. We're so predictable and we're slow in build-up, and it's so easy to defend it. That's why to answer your question, that's why we don't score enough goals, because we're just so slow.
We don't create enough.
We don't create enough because as soon as we try to, we're passing slowly, defenders are already back. Everyone's like, okay, yeah, we're in position.
The other thing as well is that when some of our attacking mid or even our fullbacks get the ball, the front three should be making these runs in behind or bending their runs to get in behind, which is what all the great teams are doing. You as a fullback pick it up. I'm looking to make an decisive pass. Someone needs to make a run, so I know where to pass the ball. They don't do it anymore. I don't see them doing it. Everyone is static. The only one that does actually is Rasmus. But at some point, he's going to stop doing it.
He was going to stop doing it.
Because I remember Cavani and Ronaldo used to wait, make the runs, and the ball wouldn't come. At some point, they just give up, thinking this team doesn't know how to make an incisive pass. All they do is pass sideways and backwards and sideways and backwards. So every season, it just breaks down. New players come in, hyped up, energized, like Rasmus is. Then they realize this team is incapable of making incisive passes, so he's going to give up too. This club at the moment is a graveyard. Players come and die.
I thought the substitutes, they made an impact. I thought when Garnacho, Martial, and everything came on, the game kind of changed because there was more energy. Everything was able to control the ball a bit more than just shooting unnecessarily. And Amrabat was able to conduct a bit more. I thought Garnacho brought energy. I don't know why they won't start him. I don't think they're going to ever drop Rashford because of his PR team and who he is. He's always going to be starting. Yeah,
that's why we're where we are.
He will only come off the bench if he's injured. He's not good. He's always going to start. Bruno will always start. It's mandatory. It is what it is.
Who comes on if they're injured?
If Rashford is injured, I'm saying they won't start Rashford off the bench. It won't happen.
I'd be happy to start Pellistri and Garnacho on Tuesday.
They won't.
But I would just think take a risk, no?
Tuesday. I would do
Tuesday. Yeah, that's what I mean. Pellistri and Garnacho on the wing with Rasmus in centre and Amrabat. But I don't understand Ten Hag that if something is not working
because of the experience he says they bring, he won't do that.
His experience is clouding his judgment, because if a formation of players is not working, you've got to change it. And you've got to sometimes bring on the young people who've got energy, and Rasmus, Garnacho, and Pellistri have that energy.
That would be good, but I just can't see it.
But as a manager, do you not think he's making a mistake? I think he's making a mistake.
He's making a mistake, and this is why we're where we are, because nothing's going to change until you have, if the manager's not willing to take drastic decisions and change things. We've got players that can play in those positions. It's just,
But why do you think he's not taking those risks? Why do you think he's not changing the team up to find that perfect 11?
He's trying to play Rashford back into form. He's off form. He's trying to play back into form.
That's going to cost him his job.
Or has someone spoken to him about the commercial side of this?
I think it could be the asset thing, that the players are considered assets and they need to be played to pay off the debt. So maybe Glazer is saying you've got to pay these guys because it brings down our interest payments, which is what was happening with Maguire. It could be that too.
We never know.
But either way, if it carries on like this, Ten Hag is going to be sacked at some point.
I hope he doesn't, though. I just hope he doesn't.
No, I hope so too. But I think if it goes on like this,
Joe, what did you say? Joe, you want him sacked?
Sorry, go on, Joe.
No, I don't want him sacked at all. But I'm starting to hear murmurs now about Ten Hag, about him not having the expertise. And it's, come on, guys. We've been here before. We've seen this movie once, twice. We've seen this movie over and over again. We got to stick with this manager, man. Let him get the team that he wants, get rid of dead weight. I'm fine. I am fine staying at the mid-table level for the next 2 years, as long as Ten Hag is. Listen. We're not going to get rid of the Glazers. If the Glazers don't go, right, this is the only way to get us back. We need to stick with a manager that's going to change the team, right, for the better. For us to even just to start getting some decent entertainment. Because we're here to be entertained, right? Nobody's doing, like, I want to be entertained, don't you? I know you like three. I know we have different points of what entertains us. For Tim, 3 points entertains him. For me, I like 3-point suit, but I also like to see good football.
Sure.
I know what this team is capable
of. It's just that I don't think this team is going to give me that good football. At the moment, they're not going to. We might just see a capitulation next Sunday. We'll see again.
And until we can get that good football, I'm sticking with the manager, right? Because we're not going to get any better in the front office. It's not.
I'm seeing the press in England talking about Potter might be the next guy being lined up. I disagree. I think that's going to be a nightmare.
Mistake that would be.
Yep, I saw that. I saw that.
Listen. English media is so messy, man. They are so like, there's a term here. It's called messy. It's when, like, in back home, right? We have a term like every time you talk, your mouth is smell. It means like every time you open your mouth, you're saying something. Only rotten things come out, right? Whenever this media, the English media talks about Manchester United, it's always rotten. It's the speculations is always like leaning one direction, you know, just speculating on complete nonsense, just to get people. It's it's so toxic. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, man.
But this is so. Let me just jump in. This is why
So you're gonna have the last word.
Yeah, we're better off, having the Glazers now than bringing in Sir Jim SJR, because if he comes in, that's why you're seeing these rumors about Graham Potter, because he has the tendency of bringing in an English manager. Guess who's lined up next?
Who?
Your England manager.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
hell
You
no!
have Southgate.
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God.
They were
No,
talking
no,
about bringing him
Listen.
before, didn't they?
You know
Yes,
why?
sir.
Because
The club.
SJR wants to be in charge of the football matters. Remember, that's what he was been saying to Sky Sports News. I want my
God.
team. Dave Beresford, the Team Sky, is going to be the director of, and the
That's
guy.
right.
What's
So do you think SJR would get rid of Ten Hag? Is that what you're saying? And you bring in an English manager?
Yeah, if results don't go our way, let's just say we go on a losing streak, like we have the tendency to do. An English manager's coming in. Southgate's coming in. Southgate.
So maybe then we'll go back to a back three and play Maguire on the left.
Yeah, three at the back.
Listen,
Well, we
if
just
that
have to wait. We
happens-
just have to wait and see.
No,
Go
no,
on, Joe.
that is
You have
what
the
would
last
break
word.
me. That would be what would break me. For the time being, Ken, I'm gonna start watching some rugby, man. I'm gonna have to switch off to rugby for a couple. I'm gonna have to watch a couple of YouTube videos. I still can't figure out the rules. It looks like just running
really
around,
passionate,
just-
really good.
just violating all sorts of NFL rules. Right? I'm gonna have to learn the rules, figure it out.
Hey man,
But yeah,
you should watch
I'm gonna have to
snooker.
make that switch.
Start watching snooker.
Snooker? Is that pool with the little table? No,
Yeah.
Pool at the big table.
Gentlemen,
No.
we've come to the end of our debate today. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure with the UK crew.
Sorry, Tim, you didn't take questions.
No,
One.
we
question
have
for you.
answered all the questions we
Apologies.
had on the table.
Kenny, have you had some Red Bull today?
He seems very Kenny's energized. He want to go on.
Because I've had enough. I've had
He's on
enough.
the Red
Ask your
Bull.
question.
Had enough.
Ask
All right,
Yeah,
go
I'll
on, Ken, ask your question.
Yeah,
Ask
question
your
is, do you think it would be better of Casemiro and Amrabat in midfield with Eriksen as a 10?
Casemiro, Amrabat, and Casemiro. So you're no Bruno at all.
No Bruno at all.
Ain't gonna happen.
I mean,
Ain't
what
gonna
do
happen.
you think we'll play better football with that midfield?
Eriksen doesn't have the legs. One, he doesn't have the legs
Doesn't have the
do
legs.
that to go back and forth. And it will. I could see Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno. I cannot see Amrabat, Casemiro, and Eriksen. It ain't gonna happen.
Eriksen would just stay around the number 10 position to create. So Amrabat and Casemiro do the dirty work.
It can work.
I think what Ken is getting at is a great idea, right? Unfortunately, the better option would be to just play Bruno in that position and for Bruno to be ordered to be
Up
more
front.
disciplined.
Right.
You're bringing in Eriksen because Eriksen's a creative player, right? But Eriksen's a more disciplined player. So you need discipline in that number 10 role, right? So if we could just get Bruno to be, because I think Bruno is better at that position because of his legs and because of his range, right? As far as shooting, passing, energy, he runs back, he tracks back. Well, not all the time. He runs back, right? So if Bruno just, and this is what I've been calling for a lot of times because I see Bruno doing a lot of extra shit he doesn't need to. If Bruno is just disciplined at that position, right, then we would be in a much better place. I making a call back to what Ken said. Oh, hey, how's it going? You know what?
There's two of them.
Hey.
Just what Ken was talking about earlier. Yes, the team is greatly diminished when we have two players that basically just want to do. Oh my God, two of them.
There's
Hey.
two of
Yeah,
them.
there are two of them.
Go on, you say hi. Go on. There's two of them.
Hi.
So Bruno and
All right, good night, girls.
Bruno and Rashford just doing whatever they want on the pitch is hurting us. So we need discipline for both of them.
Okay, Vim, your response to Ken of that midfield learner quickly. Casemiro, Amrabat, and Eriksen. Can you see that? Is that gonna work? Do you think?
For me, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. I'll give those three a try.
Without Bruno.
Sorry, did you say Casemiro, Bruno?
Amrabat, Casemiro,
Amrabat.
and Ericsson.
It could work. Could try, and then if it doesn't work, maybe try something different. Bring on Bruno later. Yeah, I'd be willing to give it a try. I'm willing to try anything now. I just want to change it up. Just bored of seeing the same 11 every week. Yeah, change it up. Eric Ten Hag, if listening, change it up.
All right. Yeah. What can I say? Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, 3 points on Tuesday and probably a point on Sunday will make my day, make my week. But we'll just wait. I know Joe has put 0 points, 0 on both games. It's all good. It is what it is, Joe. Joe wants us in Europa League and even out of Europa League, but this is football.
What us
But gentlemen,
out of Europe.
huh?
Yeah, mid-table team. We need to go for mid-table. We need to go for mid-table team goals.
We've got mid-table mentality as well.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
No, you know what? To be honest,
But we
I
haven't
would
got
say-
mid-table salaries. That's
I
the
would
problem.
say a lot of the
Yeah.
mid-table team. Wait a minute. You said mid-table team mentality.
We don't have
I would
mid-table
say-
salaries.
Yeah, we don't have mid-table salaries, and that's the problem.
I would say
It causes
the following-
delusions.
I would say the following teams have better mentals than we do.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Brighton, West
course.
Ham,
It's obvious.
Aston Villa. Those teams are mid-table teams. They all look better mentally
Yeah.
than we do.
You know what? We've kind of we've boosted their confidence by allowing them to come to Old Trafford and beat us and
Oh, yeah.
dominate us.
Of
That we've
course.
allowed them to improve their mentality at the sake of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Charity work.
We allow teams to come and batter us.
Oh,
Like
of course.
Sheffield going to be boosted now. They're going to
We'll
go and
make a Wish
win a
Foundation.
couple of games now because of
Yeah.
us.
We'll make a wish. Make a wish FC. Anybody
Yeah.
can come to Old
Yeah.
Trafford and do whatever they want.
Yeah,
Okay, gentlemen.
come
We'll
and
see.
piss on our roof because it's going to
On
leak
Tuesday,
anyway.
we got to put our support behind Man United on Tuesday. Put our support behind Man United for the big derby on Sunday. We never know. As they say, football's a beautiful but also a very funny game. You never know what might happen on that day.
I ain't laughing.
Man City might have 2 own goals. Joe, I'm telling you.
Then the game would end 4-2. What is he
6-0
talking
City. No, not yet.
Nah, not yet, mate.
Maybe second leg.
Who's gonna score? But-
Everyone in
Dominic,
City can score. That's the thing. Everyone in City can score.
Anyone.
We can't.
It is what it is. Gentlemen, thank you very much. You have a great week. We shall catch up on the WhatsApp group and we shall see what happens on Tuesday. I'm literally waiting for Tuesday's game. I can't wait. I'm excited. Glory, glory.
Glory, glory, Man United.
See you guys soon. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.